The relatives of some of the former Sri Lankan soldiers who went to fight in the Russia-Ukraine war are now appealing for help. Why did these soldiers go in the first place to the war zone, and can the government bring its citizens back safely? Here's more.
Thousands of Russian soldiers have perished in the Ukraine war since it started over 2 years ago. Moscow is in a deep struggle to replenish its ranks. Its quest has taken it to as far as Sri Lanka, where over 200 retired Sri Lankan soldiers joined its conflict. 16 of them are now reported dead.
We have confirmed that 288 retired soldiers from Sri Lanka have joined the conflict, with at least 16 reported dead.
With no communication from their family members for months, their distraught dependent families are pleading for help.
After 14 days of training, they have been deployed at the front lines. Since then, we have become destitute. We have had to pay more than 3 million for both trips. We have sold everything we owned, including jewelry. We have mortgaged a part of our house too to raise money. What we ask is to bring back our husbands.
Advertisements on WhatsApp promised the retired military personnel from Sri Lanka lucrative jobs, but many ended up in deadly active combat. 2 retired Sri Lankan generals were arrested for acting as recruiting agents for Russian mercenary firms. The government is treating this as a human trafficking case.
My husband was in the commando regiment for 22 years and had retired. He did some odd jobs since then, but found it was not enough to manage given the economic problems in the country. During this time, he heard that he could get a job in Russia. He would be paid 600,000 rupees to 650,000 rupees, and he wouldn't be deployed on front lines. We were told that he was being recruited for normal duties, nothing to worry about.
If the Sri Lankans are under stress and if the Sri Lankans are in a dangerous situation, it's the duty of the government and the responsibility of the foreign ministry to ensure that they are safely returned back to the country.
Sri Lanka's economic collapse in 2022 forced many citizens to seek work abroad. Thousands, including former soldiers, took desperate measures leading them to the Ukraine war. Meet Anil Madhusanka, a 37-year-old driver who worked in a hotel and went to Russia, only to return traumatized.
I didn't work before Sri Lankan army. I didn't catch weapons. How I am working for army? Then he say, okay, you are working. You have to work driving. Okay, but sometime you have to attack some people. That's why you have to catch gun. You have to training 1 week, 2 weeks like that.
Colombo's parliament has set up an inquiry to track at least 2,000 battle-hardened Sri Lankans who are reportedly enlisted with regular armed forces and also mercenary groups.
The issue at hand has now reached diplomatic intervention levels, with Sri Lanka's Ministry of Foreign Affairs reaching out to the relevant Ukrainian authorities in order to obtain a list of all such individuals who have since joined the army. However, it is also understood that in the event these Sri Lankans have signed military contracts, they will not be allowed to return back to Sri Lanka until their commitments are fulfilled.
As Sri Lanka navigates this delicate situation, the government has pledged to bring its citizens back safely from a war they had perhaps never chosen to fight.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.